was no like downside to calling him early on. So having him still alive puts a little plot hole there where it's like he could have tried to call him. I guess you wouldn't have thought of it because you thought he was dead, but he wasn't. So it's sort of like a whole bit of a plot hole there. I guess he could have at least tried to shout for him again. And yeah, technically Gawain got Arthur killed because Morgana wouldn't have made it, and they would have probably made it. The horses wouldn't have ran away if Morgana weren't there. So that's also quite sad when you think about it like that, even though it makes sense why they went ahead. But yeah, Cynthia, I've read through your comment. It's a long one, so I'm not going to go over it. But thank you for the little details. I like it's fun. What I love about these longer comments is that I get to see your reactions because you explain quite well your reaction to the scene, so I can see like what hopefully people would have been seeing. And I'm glad we agree. Queen's dying. No, I'm not over that still. That actually hurt my feelings. But no, thank you for the detailed comment. I enjoyed that a lot. I'm going to look through the links, and also S, thank you for your detailed comment, and Megan, thanks for yours as well. Like I say, I've read through them. It was nice to read. I was like waiting for the comments to come in after I reacted to it. I enjoyed reading them. Yeah, and also the Arthur foreshadowing of his death. That was pretty interesting, actually. I think that, yeah. I guess that's why I mention it again at the end. But yeah, I don't know what these videos are. I think there's some fun stuff. There's a documentary we're watching, made by people to help cope after watching the finale of Merlin. It's a compilation of videos that are heartbreaking. Okay.
Ever going to change, Merlin?
I don't want you to change. I want you to always be you.
Some people are just born to be queen.
Long live the Queen!
Hold me.
Oh yeah, forgot about these two. Ah! Don't do that.
I'm serious. If anyone wants to go and kill him, they can go ahead. In fact, I'll give them a hand.
I can't lose him! He's my friend!
Who'd want to marry Arthur?
The development. That was actually funny.
Yes, with all my heart.
Oh.
What the hell are you doing here?
Why can you never just say thanks?
Thank you.
That was actually the saddest thank you.
Did you ever tell Arthur? I would like him to know. To see, just once. What do you think he'd do? There's no point in thinking about it. It's never going to happen.
I have magic.
My boy Arthur went through a lot of emotions.
Only for you.
Merlin, if I die, please.
What?
One thing I tell all my young knights. No man is worth your tears.
You're certainly not.
Oh, sad. Weakness. Look away. I've already teared up enough.
I expect to wait. She feels as you do.
I think I survived.
She'll wait for you.
Nearly got me there.
I've waited for you.
You only had to wait one more day.
There was never anyone more capable than you, Merlin. You will not fail.
There is nothing you can do.
You bastard. Why did you say that?
What happened to you, Morgana? As a child, you were so kind, so compassionate.
I grew up.
What happened to the young boy who came into my chambers just a few years ago?
He
I
grew up.
grew up.
What have these people done to you? Why are you so full of hate?
You choose to do nothing but hate.
They taught me well.
You know,
She's got the eyeliner, bro.
you're the one, Arthur.
Ah, Lancelot should have got more screen time. I know his actor couldn't stay, but fuck, he was such a good character.
Bravest of us all, and he doesn't even know.
I always thought you were the bravest man I ever met.
If anything happens to Arthur, I'll find you.
The king is nowhere to be found.
I want him dead!
We've looked.
He has feelings for her, doesn't he?
What about you? Do you have feelings for Gwen?
My feelings do not matter. I will not come between them.
Oof. 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 Oh, fucking hell, I haven't seen that guy for a while.
I've been waiting all these years for the arrival of a new time. The time of the once and future king.
You came back to look for me.
All right, it's true.
Hmm.
I came back because you're the only friend I have, and I couldn't bear to lose you.
I also do this because you're my friend and I don't want to lose you.
I know you have the king's best interest at heart. I only wish you believed that I did too.
That's mad. Like, if you just look at that, that's how much he changed. Like, episode 9 to episode 13, how much he changed in those episodes.
I shall prove
It
my
was
loyalty to you and to the
such a
king.
shame. That I didn't like. That's one of my worst scenes. Oh god, I forgot how much she would beg. To be fair,
You
would marry.
gave me no choice.
You gave me no choice.
Listen to me.
I wanted to know what Mordred and Arthur scenes should have been so much longer. That's one of my actual biggest disappointments. Like, I don't mind how Morgana went, but I don't know that.
You will make me proud, as you always have.
Do you know how many times I've saved Arthur's life? I've lost count. Do I get any thanks? No.
Wait,
All these years,
Different in season 2.
You never once sought any credit. That's not why I do it. I can't believe that one day I'll actually look like this. I'm sorry about what our father did to you.
Luther was never my father.
I no longer think of myself as your son.
You know, the more brutal you are, the more enemies you'll create.
You really hate me so much.
God, if that was really
You
good.
cannot begin to know how much I hate you.
You have faith in Arthur.
I trust him with my life. I trust Arthur with my life.
Oh, look how young
Surely
he
not
is.
everyone who practices magic can be evil.
All I know for sure is that I've lost both my parents to magic. It is pure evil.
How can you trust a man who's lied to you?
You've lied to me all this time.
That's a good power.
Make sure you look after Arthur. He's in danger. Thought you hated nobles. Yeah, well, maybe that one's worth dying for, eh?
Gwen! Oh, don't show Gwen's death. Fuck off. I am behind Cynthia's fan theory that he's not actually dead. He just lost his memory. Nah, Gwen's not dead. I don't believe it. Fuck off. Nah, he's just... Yeah. Cynthia, I agree with your theory. I deny his death.
Don't be
He's
late.
just tired.
Am I ever?
It's too late. It's too late.
Girl.
Don't have one.
Was that his first big loss?
Thank you.
Arthur will rise again.
If I need a servant in the next life,
Don't ask me.
One day you will learn, Arthur. One day you will
It's just a sub
understand
video.
just how much they've done for you.
Everything you've done.
Should be on his deathbed.
For me. For Camelot.
I kind of want to watch them all, but then I also only have so much time.
He's always been there at Arthur's side.
If I wasn't a prince, what?
Why do you think he came here?
I think we'd probably get on.
Merlin.
I think we'll keep at one comp.
You need after a hard day's hunt? Sleep. Nice, cold tankard of mead. Pub's not that way, mate.
It's down there. Where you going?
Back up to the pub.
2784, take 2A camera. Guide track.
Let me show you. I'm sorry, the tape ripped on my trousers and it made me laugh.
Queen! Ah! Queen's not dead.
Only the Lady Vivian were in my room. How delightful that would be. Hey, Merlin. Ow.
You're alright.
For breakfast? This is one of the most important days.
I've watched a few, and all I've ever seen is people getting the 7 bells knocked. So
That didn't quite work. I can do it.
You're not often right, Merlin, but this is one of those rare occasions.
Yes.
Missing your... Why would I forget that word? I've said it all morning.
It sounded so sad there.
Well, by the time I've finished with you, no, rubbish. I'm going to go out and come on again. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Uther drowned many he suspected of sorcery. Sorry.
The Affairs of State always take precedence over feelings. Badly enough, Arthur. And I'm sure Georgia does too.
Sorry.
Why is he cracking up?
Or just...
I would have thought he'd be the one who'd be the crowd laughing so much.
Father.
The fine fish just keeps breaking character. Who would have thought the most murderous character was the one to laugh the most?
Are you with me?
There's no context to the laughing.
Bradley, stop it!
I'm just gonna. Oh no, I'll be alright. Just put my bigger hard drive.
What is it?
As we planned. The city's falling into rack and ruin. Every night. Oh. Billicky Bowl, the sailor man. Have you ever come Emrys? We've traced the assassin to the town of... Oh, no, we haven't. Odin. No, where? What? We've traced the assassin back to the town of Wenham. It's in Odin's land. It seems that Odin hired him to kill you.
Keep me informed of any development. Keep me Hilda, if you're unwell, you must let Guy slip. Oh. Hilda, if you're unwell, you must let Gaius help you.
Ah, the cloaks.
With insolence.
Enough! This is your king.
I think this just shows how practical the cloaks are.
He gave a heavy blow to the head.
Sorry.
Any friend of Camelot is an enemy.
Next time you know.
We're scared. Why don't I show you?
Between fate and destiny. You think too much. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, man.
Okay, dude?
That's cool, dude.
You think too much, man, alright?
Fuck. Fair enough. Carry on. I'm enjoying the outtakes. Great. And someone using a freak for Vegas.
3. Damn you. Well, you know what they say, sire. Fortune favours the brave.
It wasn't.
Listen to was there. Oh!
Stop it.
Oh God. That's what really happened. That's what really happened, alright? That's the true story.
I can't take it all. I'll be carrying on a bit.
Oh, quite a bit of the Donald jokes.
What is the name of the unfortunate young man? So that I may send his family something.
Julian. No, Johnny. Send it to my chambers and I'll ensure that the families are in receipt of it.
Thank you.
The blade's point is traveling inexorably towards his heart.
Sorry.
Then you leave me no choice. Though it saddens me greatly to do so, I must charge you with treason.
Action.
Gwen did not break character. Respects. I love how Gwen's not breaking. There we go.
It's our duty as protectors of this land. We cannot stand by when our citizens are being slaughtered. Those are not the vowels. Vowels. One more time, please. Nonetheless. And that's 3, 2, 1.
But sire, Morgana commands an army of thousands.
Nonetheless.
Mordred! I thought we'd lost you.
So did I.
How did you...
Oh, just spat all over my face.
I thought we'd lost you.
So did I.
Well, sorry. Are you the Dolma? Ancient sorceress of the cauldron of... Aryan Rod? Yes, I am.
You stupid, foolish man. I was never yours and never will be.
You must reach out, Arthur. Reach out, or all is lost.
Who's this old crone?
You loved me once, and you still do.
You're easily fooled, Arthur. Ah, no.
My fault.
Your fault.
Still running. Stand by.
This is it.
Morgana will have no means of escape. But neither will we.
His horse is kicking off.
We'll make camp. Take our positions.
It's a death trap, sire.
Filming with horses looks like a right pain.
Sorry, I'm gonna need just. Sorry.
Without a king, I will insist it's a necessary prize. That, sorry.
No worries, Sid. Talk him downstairs.
Talk.
I forgot my line.
So
sorry.
It's a great idea.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not gonna watch all of them.
We have arrived in France. The castle, Pierrefonds, is absolutely amazing. The history and everything around the
It's
place
accent's the best.
is just fantastic.
We'll probably end it there because I just realised the video is getting up to an hour long. What we do is I'll probably watch the rest myself. I had fun though. I had fun watching this. Hopefully I enjoyed the outtakes and what I funny thought. The road trip was pretty cool as well, just seeing them hang out. We got to see a bit of their personalities. Yeah, no, I do want to say generally thank you for everyone who watched these reactions. Like I say, you stuck with me for 5 seasons. Your support has always been amazing. And yeah, I can't wait to see what people's reactions are going to be to the finale on YouTube. That's definitely going to be interesting. But no, I truly am thankful, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed these reactions. And yeah, hope to get to see you in some other series. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, and peace. I don't have too much time.
It's captivated the hearts of generations.
It's inspired countless retellings, defined national identities, and become the ideal of leaders around the globe. But the fact is, to this day, nobody really knows where the history ends and the poetry begins.
That's just history for you.
Colin Morgan, and that's Bradley James, though you may know us better as Merlin and Arthur.
For 8
see his
months of the
accent.
year, we film our drama series in a studio in Cardiff. But when we finished this year, we decided to embark on a 300-mile road trip across parts of the country we've never seen, so that we could explore the Welsh connection to the myth.
Along the way, we met some saw some interesting sights, and we did some odd things in the dark.
Yes, well, and we did it all to get closer to the real Merlin and Arthur.
Oh, cute.
It's the first morning of our 3-day journey of Arthurian discovery. The plan is to see as many Welsh sites as we can that are associated with the legend of the once and future king. Oh, and also that other bloke, Merlin or whatever he's called.
Oh, watch it. Yes, that's right. Over the next
The fucking
70
quality.
hours, we are traveling far and
It's
wide,
proper
talking
old
to people
old
in the
TV.
know and trying to find out whether there ever was an Arthur and Merlin.
I imagine Colin's already ready. downstairs, checking out what we're going to be doing for the day.
Is he the
any
organised
book
one?
With Arthurian legend, Arthur, Merlin, Knights of the Round Table, anything with that in the title, he's picking it up and reading it.
I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be good fun.
I don't know, you can probably hear his accent. That's great.
And getting some solid facts as such, even though it is legend and myth. But yeah, getting some exact details about it all will be good to sort of, I guess, either enlighten me or reconfirm.
Oh mate, I can't get over the accent. It's great.
I have nowhere near
The brave, Galahad the Pure, Lancelot the Great.
And to this day, the ultimate quest for the couple of
Shame Lancelot didn't get to play more of a part. It would have been
time to get this
cool.
show on the road.
Someone's done the research.
So it can't be that far away.
on the other.
One of our Villain Saga has quite a lot to do with had King Arthur, Arthurian, isn't it? Villain Saga's a fantastic anime, by the way.
It's the length of Wales we've got to travel. We're in Cardiff, which is on the coast of Wales, the south coast. Mold is pretty much on the north coast of Wales, near Chester.
So, our quest to visit Arthurian Wales is well underway. And over the next 3 days, we are going to drive...
Hang on. You haven't got a license.
All right. You're going to drive all over the country and see some of the sites associated with the legend of King Arthur and Merlin.
And as we travel, we'll be talking to Arthurian authorities to get their take on whether the once and future king
It's quite chill,
of the
this.
Wise Wizard ever existed.
Today, we are leaving Cardiff...
What we can imagine our theory is now, guys, is that Merlin has waited all this time and he's finally met Arthur and they're just bros.
150 miles north to Mold, where we have an appointment to visit the Flintshire Library headquarters.
And it's just, like I say, it's a brilliant resource.
Open until 5, you say. I have a feeling that our leisurely drive might make us a little late for that library booking.
Yeah, and not to mention the time it's taken to get these lovely camera shots.
Still can't get over the accent. It's great. Obviously, I knew he would have an accent. But it's just when you listen to the real ones, it's like Rick from Walking Dead. That was weird when he found out he was British.
In the middle of nowhere, on our way north. I don't know how far or close we are to.
Mate, life has changed since Google Maps exists. I don't need to learn to read them out when I've got that bad boy.
But I've decided to take more of a scenic route, so we're actually getting to see some parts that we've never seen before.
Yeah, most of those behind slow-moving vehicles.
But finally, we've reached a very
The
cold
fucking
month.
animation.
And by the looks of it, a very cold Scot.
Here we are. Scott does not look happy.
Yeah, you got research time in.
Bradley.
Nice to meet you. Colin. Nice to meet you.
Here's the reason why.
So here's what we've learned so far in our Arthurian road trip. If you're travelling from Cardiff to Mold, set off early.
Seeing as we weren't in time to actually read any of the text for ourselves, we've taken Scott to the only place that's open around here, the Clued Theatre Cymru.
Well, we are both actors. It seems quite appropriate, really.
Here we've been picking his medieval mind on all things Arthur and Merlin. So with all this
The
general
show should have really got one more
appeal of the
season.
Arthurian legend, what first draw?
Historical Arthur, who's situated in the 6th century, and then we have more of the literary Arthur, which is what most people are familiar with. So that sort of starts to appear again in the 12th century, and in the early 13th century we have all the French romances where Merlin plays a more major role. And of course the French romances were then picked up by Thomas Malory in his Le Morte d'Arthur in 1485. And that sort of standardised the whole
mad how
legend,
these
if
sort of
you like. From
stories
that
carry
point
through
on,
history.
The legend had a sort of standard form, and that's the one that most people are familiar with.
Is there any solid evidence at all to suggest it was a real Arthur?
But there may have been some character and somebody called Arthur who was in people's consciousness, but we really don't have enough evidence to pick a story, and possibly the most influential medieval book we have. And throughout the 19th century, the Arthurian legend becomes more and more popular. You've got the Romantic painters, you've got Tennyson's poetry, and then the beginning of academic study into the Arthurian legend. And by the time we get into the 20th century, serious academic study on the medieval texts. So what you guys are doing with Merlin, you're reinventing it again for this generation.
So, is there any way of taking references from the text and perhaps pinpointing any of these battles?
Perhaps the only one we can pin down would be maybe the City of Legions, which is probably Chester, could maybe be Caerleon. But the one other battle, the Battle of Camlan, interestingly, the only place called Camlan is a place in mid-Wales, which appears back in the 16th century and is still present today. In fact, it's still marked on modern maps, and that would seem to be a good a location as any. We have to remember that the earliest text, the Historia Brittonum, was written in Gwynedd, so a site in mid-Wales would be perhaps of interest there. So I think that's the most likely candidate, shall we say.
Okay, so it is our mission to find these places around Wales, to locate the real Arthur and Merlin. Where would you recommend on this map going to?
Okay,
I just want Merlin to keep talking.
So I think the next place you need to go to would be somewhere like Kai Kai at the bottom of Bala Lake, and that's where Arthur was supposed to South Wales. All the way down here, back to Caerleon. And this is where the Roman fort is. And there we have the amphitheatre, which in the 18th century became known as Arthur's Round Table, antiquarian sort of imagination. But the name sort of stuck, and we're still using it today quite a lot. So, but Caerleon, there's some impressive Roman remains there. So that's where you'll finish your trip.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh God, Bradley's got a lot of driving to do.
And tomorrow, our quest continues.
It's day 2 of our Arthurian road tour, and after yesterday we've discovered there is no shortage of places for us to visit. All across Wales there are many locations claiming the kingdom of Arthur, the resting place of Merlin, and the home of Excalibur.
Perhaps most famously connected to my character Merlin is the town of Carmarthen. In 1136, Geoffrey of Monmouth wrote The History of the Kings of Britain, and in his story, a boy called Merlinus was found in a town named Carmarthen, which many believe to be Carmarthen. And according to local legend, he still lies here to this day.
I won't be surprised if Merlin, if he was a real person, he'd just be the strategist
Wales will be taking us.
for Arthur.
From Mold, we're going to head to Caer Gai and Llanwrtho. From there,
Because I
it's
don't
up
believe
to
in
Mold to
magic,
Groes,
so.
and then down to Camlan. Finally, we are going to travel south and finish our journey of Arthurian discovery in Caerleon. Each of these locations has a link to the story, and we hope to learn more about the legend as we travel.
So our first stop today is Llanwrtho. In the 14th century, a Welsh adaptation of Malory's work known as The Welsh Birth of Arthur describes how Arthur was brought here as a child and fostered until he was 14 years old. Caer Gai is a Roman fort nearby which is associated heavily by some writers with Arthur's childhood.
Yeah,
I feel Bradley's hair.
It's not even on our map.
Well, the one thing about filming in a studio in Cardiff for 8 months is that you obviously don't get to see much of the countryside, and you kind of don't get the chance to appreciate how impressive it is.
You get the opportunity to kind of come up here, up in North Wales, where we've never been before, and see this. It's absolutely stunning.
Well, if this is the area where Arthur grew up, it's not exactly a bad place to grow up, is it? It's quite nice. I wouldn't complain.
We're here at Clonoclan Railway, waiting to take the train around Bala Lake.
We thought we'd take the train to mix it up a bit because we did such a vast amount of driving yesterday. So we thought we'd mix up our Arthurian Legends tour with a bit of train action.
This might shake our world up a bit.
Shake our world up a bit, yes. Yes, it might.
Mapped out these areas where we can go and visit now, so we've got a clear journey.
There are a lot of regions that have their versions of the story. They all sort of have originated from somewhere, and it's just that the stories have been told in different ways. And of course, we're sort
Kind of want to watch season 1 of Burn.
So it gave us some
Look
great,
back.
great places to kind of check out. I believe that at some point there was a man who the legend is, even if it's sort of remotely based on it, that it was, that started it all off.
So after this, we're going to go there.
Arthurius.
So that's the battlefield where Arthur fought the giant.
Yeah, and then we go on to Camlan, which is where Arthur's last stand was.
From Llanwrtho, we are back on the road again and taking a steep climb up to Bulchon in 1597. It's said that this is where Arthur battled one of Wales' most fierce giants.
We've stopped just because...
Fun fact though, I know giants sound like unrealistic, but if most people's height was averaging 5'4" at the time, and let's say someone was 6'3", maybe 7 foot, like possibly, they would be classed as a giant to them. So I could see that being actually a true story. Because when we think giant, we think the big fantasy mystical creatures. But if you take it back and if it was a real, if you talk about the real thing, it would be just a very extreme tall person.
Road, which I'm not too sure of the reasons. As of yet, one magpie, it's not a good sign. But don't worry, because Bradley's at the wheel, and that means everything's going to be a-okay. Colin. Oh, now I can see what he's talking about. Yeah, I'd better keep my eyes on the road, I think.
Jesus.
Now, if Arthur had to make his way up here on foot, it would have certainly taken his breath away. It has mine, but for very different reasons.
Why don't we fight a giant in that episode of Merlin now that I think about it? Oh, that was rapid. Get invested.
This is ridiculous. Sheep are saying. Though there is no indication where this is, though it is mentioned in the Gwynedd-centric Historia Brittonum, written in the 9th century in Gwynedd, so that would make where we are quite a probable location.
To find Arthur's last stand, we're going to use the technique of dowsing, also known as divining. We'll be looking for mystical paths of energy called ley lines. And one person who's not only convinced that Arthur was real, but also that this is the site of his last battle, is author Lawrence Meehan.
So this is where Arthur's last battle took place?
Oh yes, definitely, we know that. We know it because of the place name for a start. This field here, to my right, is Maes y Camlan, which has been called that for centuries. All the place names around here date from King Arthur's day. The hillside over there, for instance, is called Bryn Cleifion, means the hillside of the wounded.
So what actually happened here?
Well, according to Harleian manuscript 4181, entry 42, this is where Ida Elin Mao mortally wounded King Arthur. Now, when you're ready...
Why does he remind me of fucking old Merlin?
The stone. Now, think of the lay, and I'm going to make it more definite still. Think of the most important lay, the primary lay. When you see them crossing, stop.
Imagine meeting this guy at night time.
See where you are. Okay, off you go.
Apparently, there are some in this area that pinpoint to the exact spot where he fell. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a setup.
Yes, they're crossing. Can we get that on camera?
I wouldn't we go through the head now.
Colin, will you come in, please?
Imagine just doing it at night, just doing this.
Get the exact spot where they're crossing. Go forward, just you, Colin. That's it. Now, do you see there is a straight line, 3 of us? We've all dowsed the same lay. This, indeed, is the primary lay.
I think it's important to keep an open mind, and it's you know, there seems to be something going on here. I can't really explain what it is, but yeah, it's a good job we have you here to explain it for us.
There's something happening. 3 of us in a straight line.
You're too polite.
And, if we were to look upon this line, and if it was daylight and the leaves were off the trees in wintertime, you'd see where it was going.
Right, and where's that?
Now get this, it's going straight to the church where King Arthur died. The church of his very own nephew, Saint Tydeco at Machloed.
Right, very good. Which we can't see because it's very dark, because we turned up late. But still, it's been it's been a pleasure.
Imagine just being in the bush with this guy looking for Lane.
Much appreciated. Thank you, Colin. Thank you very much. The best thing about that was kind of seeing Lawrence's enthusiasm for it. Whenever someone's got that amount of enthusiasm for it, it can't help but
rub off on you. It was good. It was interesting. It was good fun. I didn't know what was going to happen, and
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Well, neither of us were quite sure what to expect. But there's no denying that something was going on there. I think we're getting there.
yeah, we've learned a lot.
Colin. He's like, what the fuck did I just witness? That's why I'm so quiet.
Well, it's our third and
I
final
like about
day,
he's taking
and
the
it's been
lead.
quite
It's
a tour
funny.
so far. We've swatted up on books. We've seen legendary backdrops.
This old classic meme format, Jesus. These two strangers are outnumbered in a bar fight. Join them for the lols. Yeah, pretty much. Merlin claims to be a sorcerer going like this. It's true. Use eyeliner. Become evil, use eyeliner. No, it's true. It's true. Eyeliner is an effective way to show villain. Fucking the face to pick for Arthur. Merlin has a girlfriend killer. That fight just looks a bit psychotic. Tricks numerous times by crafty sorcerers, simply shady strangers. You're a wizard, Dudley. So dumb. That meme for it. To be fair, that was like the first season of Merlin, then it sort of went like that. I push. They went more pushy, they got rid of like the cool spells. Merlin was killing people in season 1. Let's not forgive that. Sure, Grandma, let's get you to bed. Me in 40 years' time. Okay, that was good. That one. Really, we'll rise again.